Hey music friends, I'm Deanna and today I'm going to show you how to draw a treble clef. As I was preparing for this video, I found that some people draw the treble clef different than I do, and I really like the way that they draw it because it shows how the treble clef or the G clef looks like a G. Long ago, the treble clef used to move around on the staff. It would move up, it would move down, but it was always pointing out where the G above middle C is. Now it is pretty set, so it's always in the same place, but it still points out where that G is. Other people draw it like this. They start with what looks very much like a capital G. You can see that looks like a curvy capital G. Then you come up to the top, do a backwards loop, come down through the middle, and put your tail on the end. I think that's a decent looking treble clef. I like that it starts with what looks like a capital G. Now I'm going to show you how I prefer to draw it personally. The reason that I like to do it different is because I like to be able to do this with one stroke without having to pick my pen up in the middle. So I like to start with that swirly thing in the middle. You're swirling right around that second line if you're on the staff. And then come up and just kind of loop backwards down through the middle and then put your tail on going in there to the left. That's a pretty good looking treble clef. What you want to do now is grab a piece of paper and practice drawing those all over the place. Just fill it up with all of these treble clefs. This will give you lots of good practice. And once you've got one that you're happy with, then you're going to take out a new piece of paper and draw a great big treble clef in the middle of that paper. You'll notice that on this treble clef we have several spaces that we could do something with. We might draw circles in this space. Maybe we'll put in some zigzags. There's an art form called Zentangle that I've been playing with in my extra time. And the idea is that you just take 20 minutes a day, draw something with swirly big spaces in it, and fill them in with lots of different patterns. Let's do boxes in this one. How about that? And one more. Let's do some curvy lines. I'm going to fill this one up with curvy lines. It's a little shaky today. Okay. I'll show you. This is one that I did. You can see that I started with the treble clef, came down, and then I added some additional swirls around there, and then I went in and filled it in with all sorts of different patterns. I had a lot of fun doing this. I used markers, and then I also used watercolors to fill that in, and you could definitely do something like that. You could also just take your large treble clef and put a few other musical symbols around. Let's try a bass clef. The other name for a bass clef is an F clef. And while the G clef, I can definitely see the capital G in that one, the F clef, I can no longer see that. Maybe a long time ago it used to look like the letter F, but I can't quite see that now. So to draw this one, you're going to start with a small dot, and then you come around the left of that dot and come down. It looks a little like a backwards C, or maybe the right hand half of a heart. This dot right here would be sitting on that second line of a 5-lined staff. And that's where that F below middle C sits on the piano. And then these two dots go above and below that same line. So again, this one used to move around all the time, just like the treble clef did, but it no longer does. It's set, and it's always in the same place. Let's add a few more things to our picture here. Let's add a note. So this, we're just going to draw a circle. There's our note head. This will be a half note, and we're going to add a stem to it. Most notes have a stem of some sort, and we're going to have this stem go up. Now, when you draw a stem, stems that go up are on the right side of that note head. If we put another note down here, let's say we color this one in, but we decide we want the line to go down, that'll go on the opposite side. So stems that go down are on the left, and stems that go up are on the right. Let's add a few more things to this. How about, we'll use our red. Let's do a quarter rest. Quarter rests are lovely zigzag creations. They look a little like a Harry Potter scar or a lightning bolt. And you can just draw a zigzag and you'll know that that's what that is if you're writing your own music. But I had another piano teacher show me how she draws the quarter rests, and I really like it, so I'll pass that on to you. She draws a letter Z, and then keeping her pen on the bottom of that Z, put a C right underneath. And that's a very nice way to do a quarter rest. I think that looks pretty good for now. I think we'll go ahead and leave that as it is. I hope that that was helpful to you and that you learned some things about how to draw a treble clef and a few other musical symbols. I hope that you will create some works of art using these new skills, and I would love it if you would share some of those works of art with me. Send me a picture so that that's something that we can all share in that success. And if you enjoyed this video, I hope that you'll like it and maybe even subscribe. Until next time, I hope you have a great day. Happy practicing.